Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Amy Kang from Coffee with Amy Kang Facebook Live. And today, I'm very honored to have my friend again, Michelle Au from Chris's Place. She's a human experience facilitator to come and share with us on her perspective on loneliness. So, this setting that I'm in now is actually a place very far west in Boon Lay. It's a TTKT, Takutat. Is it Takutat, Michelle?
Takut. Kids Club.
So very special setting that I thank you, Michelle, for inviting me to join this open house here. Okay, later I will after we have the live, maybe Michelle might like to share a little bit more about this. Okay, so I will hand the mic over to Michelle now.
Hello everybody. Nice to see everyone again. So today's topic, I think Amy has shared on her Facebook that it is about loneliness, this conversation around loneliness. So we thought that this might be an appropriate conversation because the festive season is coming around the corner, right? So like Christmas, there's New Year, then there's Chinese New Year. Then after that, I think in March or April is Hari Raya. So it's like back to back, a lot of festivities, a lot of festive celebrations. So a lot of things are happening, and the assumption is that, because of all the festivities, because we are meeting with a lot of people, there seems to be lesser loneliness. But it's a very interesting thing because loneliness isn't a state. That means we can be surrounded by a lot of people. We are together with many people, but we can still feel very lonely. Right? So loneliness is actually a feeling. Loneliness is a feeling that we don't have anyone who we can perhaps be real with or be authentic with, or that we cannot have deeper conversations with. So we will feel lonely if we feel like we don't belong, or we are not appreciated or not valued. So we will still feel lonely, even though we can be surrounded by a lot of people. Yeah.
I think I really feel very resonate by the way you say about this feeling that we need to be understood by someone, and that even though sometimes we may be actually in a very a place where our family, our loved ones are around us, but we can still feel the loneliness like right inside us, which is like I understand that also that not many people will be maybe open to let others know about this, that they are really feeling lonely, right?
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of things that happen, especially in these past few years, right? The pandemic and all these things. So it affects how we see our relationships with other people. And because of how we see the relationship we have with other people, right? Sometimes we think that we are close to some people. Then through the pandemic, we realize, actually maybe not so close. We can't have very deep conversations or very meaningful conversations with these people. And then I think that perspective also changed about what that even though I might be with this person all the time, I might still feel very lonely. Yeah. So actually I wonder if those people who are watching and listening in, anybody has similar experience about that this kind of feelings. Yeah.
Okay, right now I'm trying to gather more people to come into the live. So for people, if you are joining us on this Facebook live now, appreciate if you can like and share this Facebook live to your friends, to your page, okay, so that we can have more people to come and participate. Yeah, right now I'm also trying to multitask and listening to Michelle sharing her insight. At the same time, I also want to share to my group of people and friends so that they can come in and join us for this conversation, this very interesting conversation. So while waiting, I will appreciate for those who are here to share with your group of friends or your Facebook group that we have more people to come and join us now live at this Zoom here.
Actually, we have someone else here together with us in the Zoom itself. Maybe this person can also, if the person is available, can you also like jump in and share your perspectives about what it feels like for you to be alone and to be lonely, or what would change that perspective also, right? So I'm not sure if that person is here because the mic is muted, the camera is off. So I don't know.
Hello.
Okay, hi.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Yeah. Okay. So
Hi.
hi Amy. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Okay. So for me, I'm like, okay lah, I'm a 30+-year-old person. So I think this is the age where you start realizing that a lot of your friends have like a life lah, basically. Like people have a life. Like it's no more like when you were in school or JC and like, it's more organically like you're put together with groups of people. So because you're put together with so many people, right? It's a like law of numbers, right? So if you are put together with 39 other people, chances are that at least you can connect with like maybe 5 or 6 people. And then usually that's what you see culminating as cliques and all that. But then after everyone kind of goes out to work and people start getting families and things like that, right? Those then become their natural groups of hanging out. And then of course, yeah, I mean, doesn't mean you don't have friends, but it's more of like, you will see that the friends who are left still like very close to you are those that it makes sense. That means your lifestyles are compatible. Maybe your stage of life is compatible. Maybe the kind of values you share on how you would choose to have fun together. These type of things more determine whether you are with people or not lah. So I guess sometimes for me, like I used to have like a lot more friends when I was in uni especially. And then yeah, to just see that number dwindling was quite difficult, I think, after uni. And then even after the years after that, because like you see, sometimes when it's natural that we might have misunderstandings with people that we are close to lah. But I think that precisely when you are hardly able to meet up, right? And you don't really have the time and that emotional energy to really sit down and sort out things as well, you can realize that you slowly start to maybe lose people. So I think those experiences were difficult. I think other than that, at the bottom line is that it's not about how many friends you have lah. So like people have actually said to me before, and I think it's a very common notion. It's like, hey, you have a lot of friends, what? Like, why are you saying that you're lonely? Like they think that you're very frivolous for feeling that way. But the reality is that no matter how many people you have, you can still feel that way. What? I mean, you can't really help how you feel, right? But I've realized that rather than always trying to seek out company to fill that void that we sense as loneliness, maybe sometimes we can just instead ask ourselves, like, what can I do right now with myself that might kind of cheer me up or make me feel happy? So whether for some people it might be reading a book, for others it might be watching Netflix, for some maybe it's decluttering the house, for some it's like I don't know, like playing some songs in your room and dancing like a mad person, like whatever it is, right? Maybe like some of the times, like not all the time, please go and find your friends. I'm not saying like guys don't find your friends, but it's more of like maybe some of the times that you feel lonely, you can instead try to find activities that you still enjoy on your own, because that will then help you enjoy your own company and you realize that, hey, actually I'm quite fun. Like I'm not just this sad person who's always here feeling lonely, like I'm actually quite a fun person. Yeah, and then after that, that will also then enable you to have that persona that other people want to hang out with. Because if you're forever lonely and like people can sense your desperation, right? They can actually smell your desperation, and all the more they won't want to hang out with you. They're like, oh God, this is the person who's always like, like, hey guys, are you all free or not? Then it's like, gets very sad when like no one is free. Then like, in fact, they will end up repelling people more. So yeah, I mean, these are some of the things I guess I've experienced before. But anyway, yes, that's from me.
I think that is a very great insight from you, Buba. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I have a little bit of sorry, I think because now I'm trying to use my speaker. Okay, sorry.
Actually, you're quite clear, Amy. You're quite clear. You don't have to worry. Yeah, we can hear you quite clearly.
Okay. Okay. Because actually okay. So basically what you shared just now, Buba, is actually very insightful. That I think we the persona that we portray out to other people, and then you share about people can smell your desperation. I think this point really hits me. So right now, like what we are trying to advocate, is to we are trying to do that the magnet that attracts people to want to be near to us, because uh like what you also shared about being happy with ourselves. Yeah, I think this is really very, very relevant here in today's topic. And thank you, Michelle, for inviting you over. And also, of course, we would like to hear more from Michelle. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I think we have to give it to Amy, right? Because this is Amy's first time doing a Facebook Live outdoors, immediately after an event that she attended. So she was very brave to say that, hey, let's try this out, because she was asking, hey, so how are we going to do this live? Because the open house that we are attending is until 6:30, and then 6:30 is the live. So she was a little bit I guess anxious or a bit concerned about how it's going to work out and things like that. So let me introduce you to my little friend here. Say hello, Amelia. What are you eating? Cake. Eat cake. Yeah. Yeah. So we are at a community event where we are with little kids as well as adults in this space. This space is called Takakut Kids Club. Takakut Kids Club, and basically this is a space where kids come together and they really spend time with each other. So I think when we were talking about having a conversation around being alone and loneliness, I thought this was a very good space to be in, because the kids here are very interesting. They're very fun, and I think one of the things that I learned from them is about being able to interact well with each other, as well as to then find themselves in this space. And the reason they come down to this space is because maybe at home they don't have much people to kind of take care of them, or if they do have people to take care of them, these people are busy, and they find that they need friends, and this is a space that they make friends. They are from all walks of life, different schools that they are from. They are from 7 to 14 years old. And when we talk about being alone and loneliness, actually they are not alone. In the houses that they stay, most of them have more than one sibling. They have at least 3 to 4, some of them have 5 siblings that they stay with, together with their parents or their grandparents or their aunties and uncles. So they are never alone in that sense, right? There's always someone that's around with them. However, sometimes they might feel lonely. Yeah, because they feel that no one understands them. They feel that perhaps they have to take care of what they need to do by themselves. They have responsibilities to take care of the younger ones, or take care of the older ones, whatever it is. So there are many layers in which they experience their life here. And coming down to this space, they find that, hey, I can potentially find people who are same as me, or they can understand me, or who I can talk to, I can share with. And it's not just the kids that they have conversations with or they spend time with. It is also the adults that they spend time with, and they find that there is someone who's willing to listen to them. They're willing to listen to them. Hello. Someone who's willing to listen to them, someone who's willing to spend time with them and have a conversation with them and eat with them, right? And eat with them, right? And really just pay attention to them. And I guess that helps with not feeling alone, and to kind of like take away the loneliness. And I think I speak from my own experience as well, especially when it comes to the festive season. I think a typical family, if you go for family gatherings, they will ask you, oh, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? When are you getting married? If you're married, then when are you gonna have kids? So those are the kind of common conversations that we have at family gatherings, especially during festive season. I think the challenge with that is actually that there is no good answer to that question, right? Because if I say no, I don't have a boyfriend or I don't have a girlfriend, then they say, oh, when are you gonna have one? Right? And actually these questions also then drive the sense of loneliness even more to the person, because they feel like, oh no, did I do something wrong? But if you are able to accept that, hey, maybe this is the life that we have as a single person, it helps a little bit more for us to feel less lonely as well, right? To accept us for who we are. Yeah, Amy, you have something to add on, is it?
Yeah, I think that is very true from. Yes. Sorry, my response may be a bit slow because I'm using the speaker, and then yeah. So anyway, I just feel that like what Michelle shared is very true. Is that like like sometimes for like people around the like in Singapore, right? So with I mean some traditional Chinese families still have the concept that at a certain age, just like you have to be like with someone, seeing someone and things like that. But actually like in today's society, it can be different already. People are getting more and more like sophisticated. I would say that like, and then women or even men themselves, they can choose to be single by choice. But there are other people who do not see it that way. They will see it like, oh, maybe the more traditional thinking will be thinking that, oh, this is like something wrong with the person, or like is it that she's antisocial, or is it that she's just not that standard? But actually, this may not be the way, because some people just choose to be alone by choice, really. So this is really coming from the experience of even myself. I'm a single mom. So I choose to be alone because basically I just feel that maybe there's some characteristic flaw in me, okay, of that I'd like to improve, and I need time to be with myself to improve this. So if I were to divert my attention to a second person, I have lesser time to improve on myself. So at this moment of time, I would like to just be by myself, improve, and be with my loved ones, like my son, my siblings, and my niece and nephew, and things like that. I think I really derive joy from this daily simple life. And yeah, so I'd like to hear from Michelle. How do you feel about this?
So I think also what Ruben mentioned earlier on as well, right? That it is to find ways to allow yourself to enjoy your own company. So if you're alone or kind of feeling alone, and that doesn't mean that it's only applicable to singles, right? So even to couples or even to people who have a family, you might be with your husband or your wife, or you might be with your children. Sometimes you might also feel alone, or you might feel very lonely, like nobody understands you. So I think the question is, how would you want to take time to understand yourself, lah? And also to take time to get to know yourself and to be your own friend. I think Bhuvan mentioned just now about taking time to understand yourself a bit more, and then also to do things that you like, maybe Netflix or read a book or so on and so forth. So one of the things that I do is I learned to go and watch a movie by myself. Right, so go and watch a movie by myself. Choose a movie that I like. So I think the Marvel series has been great. I've also gone to watch the Harry Potter series by myself, and also taking walks by myself. So I go on nature walks. I think Amy does that as well. I'll go on nature walks, and I don't need to actually go with a friend. So I used to think that if I can go with a friend, it'll be better. But I think now I actually really enjoy and appreciate going by myself rather than to have to entertain someone on a walk while chit chatting and walking. There are times, I think, depending on the purpose, sometimes it's good to have a friend to walk with because you might want to share something. But sometimes it's also good to just walk by ourselves. So these are some of the things that I enjoy doing by myself, and I think it is kind of situations, I appreciate my own company. Oh yeah, the other thing that I like to do by myself, it is actually to have tea with myself. So like go to Starbucks or go Coffee Bean and then order a drink, and then a cake, and then kind of like sit down and enjoy my own company, and then also write my journal perhaps in those moments. Yeah, so I think those are some of the things that I learned. I used to feel very sad when I am lonely. I used to feel like, oh, everybody has somebody and I don't have. But I think over the years I learned how to kind of like take care of myself in that sense lah. Yeah, perhaps Woven also can share a bit more about your journey and your process of making friends with yourself. If Woven is there. Hello, Woven.
Hi, sorry. Okay, yes. Actually, I have a lot of things to say about this because actually I was in a relationship until like early this year, and I think if you don't actually learn to be alone, I mean it's a sometimes it can be a stretch to say enjoy being alone now. Because some people just prefer to be with others, and there's nothing wrong about that. Because I'm just like wary that some people might think like, is it like wrong that I want to be with a lot of people? Then no, it's not wrong. But then I think if you don't learn to be also alone, right, then you will end up actually straining the relationships that you have. So it's like, for example, my ex-boyfriend and I, we did spend a lot of time together. But at the same time, I realized that sometimes when I was just left to my own accord, and then like I knew he was busy or he had other plans which might not involve me, or he just had things to do, and because his life circumstances are different from mine. And then those are the moments that I end up feeling very alone. And then sometimes I might actually like maybe get a bit annoyed or maybe like fight with him a bit. So these type of things are not very ideal because then it doesn't allow you to enjoy the time that you do have with him and you do have with that person. That's for relationships. And for friendships, it's like, when people start going to the, why you never tell me? You only ask the other friend. Then when you do that, the other person will be like, why is she talking like this? Like, because sometimes you just want to ask certain people and not other people. Like, it's like, how you feel like and all that. There's so many reasons for it. But actually, when you end up start questioning people who leave you alone, and then you like cognitively you start thinking that, oh, this means that they don't like me, this means that I have nobody, then that's where the risk is lah. So I think anything that you can do to try and remind yourself that no, I do have close friends, I do have family, I do have people who love me. It's just that everybody needs their own space at times and everybody needs to do their own things, and it's okay. Yeah, maybe for now it might seem like I don't have anyone, but I think it's key is to remind yourself that it's just a feeling, it's not the fact. Even if someone in this world has no family and maybe like no friends, right, they might have somebody that maybe their neighbor talks to them from time to time when they see them. Maybe they go to the shop and they have a good relationship with the shopkeeper. There's always somebody for us, right? That's why we are human, I think. I think we just need to remind ourselves of that. If not, I think it can strain our current relationships. Then we end up becoming more lonely. So it's a very vicious cycle lah. So I think I told myself, like right now, that's what I've been doing this year actually. So as painful as it has been, trying to like kind of just tell myself that it's okay to be myself. Like I think it's taught me a lot of good lessons. And actually, I want to come back to what Amy said. She said like, sometimes when you're single, you think like something wrong with you. Yeah, totally. And like in fact, if you don't start dating, right, your friends will be like, hey, just go and date lah. You see, like you want to be alone your whole life, man. You want to wait for someone your whole life. I think you can take it in, but you don't have to follow it. Because sometimes if you end up like just dating anybody for the sake of it, you might end up feeling more lonely. So instead of that, you can just take your time and identify whose company makes you feel like you're very connected, you're very happy. And if that person's company only comes once a month or something, sure. And the rest of the month, maybe try to find things that still give you fulfillment and purpose. That's what I would think lah. Not like I know it all, but it's still a work in progress. But yes, actually from now on, I might not be able to talk much, but yeah, like I love this conversation lah. Okay, I'm going to shut up now.
Thanks, Bhuban, for sharing. I think it's a very interesting perspective, and thanks for letting us know that you can't talk from now on. Just listen in. Yeah, so I think a lot of the conversation that we've been having now is about relationships or family and this concept of loneliness and being alone. I think the context is really about people and connection. So when we are alone, that's about the physical surrounding that we are in, right? So whether we are in a space, whether there's a lot of people, and so on and so forth. And I think what Bhuvan has also mentioned that like loneliness is a feeling, right? And all our feelings are legit, all our feelings are valid, all our feelings are also data. So if we are able to recognize that um, that we are feeling lonely or we are having a sense of loneliness, then actually it is an indication for us to either do something about it or don't do anything about it. So one of the things that we can do is to then say, hey, go out and connect with someone, right? Or go out and connect with ourselves, or go and do something to connect. So the moment we have connection, whether with ourselves or with other people, we realize that we don't feel lonely anymore. The reason we feel lonely is because we are not able to connect, whether with ourselves or with other people. And that's how the sense of loneliness comes about. The moment we are able to connect with someone, bye bye. The moment we are able to connect with someone, or even if, and that someone could be ourselves or it could be another person. The moment we are able to connect with someone, we find that we are less lonely. Yeah. 对咯，是的。
Yes.
对。
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Actually, right now, we are saying bye bye to some of the friends here. Yeah, because they are all leaving after the open
And
house.
actually that's
Yeah.
also an indication of connection, because if they don't feel like they can connect with us, they won't say bye bye to us. Right? Even though like for Amy, right, she's the first time here. She only spent about 2
Right.
hours here, and already the kids are surrounding her and talking and like very curious about her, and they're trying to connect with her. And actually, if I'm going to ask Amy, like, do you feel lonely in this space? The answer will probably be no lah. Like, got no time to feel lonely, right? There's just so many things happening, so many people around, so many conversations that can happen at any single one point in time. So it's really quite an interesting space. So the way to then work with connection, right? Because some people say, then how do I connect? Right, I've never tried this before. I don't know how to connect. And if I don't know how to connect, then I will always be lonely, right? So I think connection is a very interesting thing, because connection is also about having a community, right? And in this case, we are in this space, which is why I told Amy, actually, this is a very good setting for us to have this conversation, because in this space, right, the reason people are here is because they want to connect. They want to find some form of connection, either with themselves or with others around them, and I think that's the beauty of having children around you as well, because children are not shy. Maybe that's a very overwhelming statement. Children are more willing to make friends, right? So they will say some things, or they'll make some observation, and then they help us with the connection. They help us to connect with them. They also help connect with themselves, and then they allow us to connect with ourselves. And then in that process of having the interaction, they also learn to connect with themselves. Because some of them also don't know how to connect with themselves. They are also learning about this concept of connection and how to feel less lonely as well, right? So I think that the thing that I'm going to encourage us to do is, in this season of festivities, coming Christmas, coming New Year, and Lunar New Year, and so on and so forth, what is one thing that you can do to connect, right? To connect either with yourself or to connect with someone else. Could it be a phone call? Could it be a message? Could it be like just learning how to spend time with yourself? What is that one thing you can do to connect? Yeah. So I think that's my one curiosity and also my encouragement lah. Yeah. I think Amy is clear. Nobody's around her now. Amy can share.
Yeah, I think I like to go back to the conversation you shared before Buba just now. I just want to say that when I really like the way you describe when you go for a walk with someone and then you have to entertain that someone. I really like that word because I think sometimes I also have the same feeling. It's like, when you're with somebody, anyone, you are just like entertaining. Yeah, it can be quite exhausting. And I just feel that that's the reason why sometimes I will say I want to be alone, like to myself. I want to do things myself. I want to go travel myself. I want to even go for a breakfast myself because I just do not wish to exhaust my energy on things that is not necessary to my own dictionary lah. So that's the thing that really strike me. And then after that, Buba also shared about the loneliness. Loneliness is actually a feeling and it's not a fact. So we can feel a lot of things. We can have a lot of positive, a lot of negative feelings, but then again, is that the fact? Well, we need to actually differentiate between feelings and fact. I think that is a very good point that Buba had pointed out. Yeah. And also just now, just only you also share about connecting with people. And I think that is very relevant that, and thank you really for bringing me to this space here. I'm very, very happy to be here at this PPKC today. Although really to be honest, it's quite far from my place at Northeast, but I will probably drop by again one day when I have the time to say hi to the kids. And one of the girls that really strikes me is Sari. The girl, she let us to do the music freeze, and she really dance very well, and then she's very good at emceeing, and I really see the talent in many children here, even like Ruda, Suhaimi, yeah, and Kana. They all catch my attention. I think that this is a very good volunteer work that Michelle is doing now over here at Tatakut. Sorry, I still didn't catch that name, but I just feel that like it's a very meaningful space, a community whereby the residents, children can come and over to hang out their time because they just want to feel connected. Yeah. So I see from here, I see a lot of hope. I see that the future of these children will be even more so-called well shaped than those who are really delinquent out there. Yeah. Really very happy to see this community growing. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Amy, for also taking up the challenge and being courageous to try this, doing this Facebook Live outdoors. And initially we wanted to do at the playground, but then it rained, right? So then we can't do at the playground. We can only do under the void deck, like shelter. So that's why it's a little bit interesting in that sense, to do this live in this setting lah. Yeah. So let me see if I can do this. Okay, so I think my background now is better, right? So if I show you the space a little bit. So this is Tatakut Kids Club. This is where the kids hang out. There's so many pairs of shoes outside. Right, and then that's where the playground is. We're supposed to have done our live there, but no, we couldn't because of the rain. Yeah, and then that's where we have this open house. Everybody's just like chilling out now because open house is done. There's nothing else to do now but to just chill and hang out. Right, so yeah, that's where we are and what we are doing at this point in time. So thanks everyone for joining us today, and we hope that today's sharing was also meaningful for you. We may not be able to entertain all your questions now also because I think Amy was trying very hard to see if there's anybody also live on Facebook, but please do leave any comments, any feedback or any questions onto Amy's page where this video is going to be shared, and then we can respond to you from there as well, right? And if this topic is really something that hits your heart very deeply, and you feel that you want to have more conversation around it, whether one-on-one or with the rest of us, please let us know. I'm very sure Amy is quite keen to or quite open to then do another round of the Facebook Live. If this topic is such a hot topic and such a meaningful topic for everyone, I think she will be quite keen to just continue this conversation about being alone and loneliness. I think the bottom line of why we chose this topic, at least for me lah, why I chose this topic for now is really because the festivities are around the corner, and even though things have opened up, we can have gatherings, we can go and have parties and all these. Sometimes when we attend these parties, we find that we feel even more empty and we feel even more lonely than actually not being lonely. So what I'm trying to say is, it's absolutely normal. You're okay. You're not weird. You're not strange. It's not like a stupid thing to happen. I think it's just knowing that you are feeling that way, and then the question is on how to overcome the loneliness, or how to experience the loneliness in a more positive manner, would be to find that connection. So I think that's the reason why I chose this topic for the season, so that people who experience this, you don't feel like you are alone. You're not alone, right? There are many people who feel the same way, and being alone and loneliness is really quite different, right? So thank you, Amy, for giving the opportunity to come onto the Facebook Live and taking on the courage to do this in a very interesting space. Yeah, so with that, thanks everyone. I'm not sure if Amy has any last words to share before maybe we go off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. This is the first time that I'm trying to do a live outdoor, and really appreciate all your patience and accommodation. Okay. So today Michelle shared a very interesting topic on loneliness. If you feel that this really resonate with you and you like to hear more about this, welcome you to let me know through the this Coffee with Amy Kang Facebook comments. And we will love to hold more such sessions, dialogue together. And this is basically also a part of like being mentally well-being, like taking care of our mental well-being, and also for us to actually really understand more about ourselves. Like the more we understand about ourselves, the more we will be able to spend time alone and not feeling lonely. Yeah, so and in this season, Merry Christmas is coming, so I like to take the opportunity to wish everyone and my followers Merry Christmas, and enjoy your Christmas next week. And at the same time, I also like to invite you all to come over tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. to listen into our next guest speaker, Charlene Ng, a professional life coach, to share about her interesting topic, which is like right now it's not in my mind already. I'm too much loaded. But I will definitely upload y'all with more information. And really, I really thank you, Michelle, for taking the time here and your energy to come and share with our audience here about your perspective on loneliness. And it's really interesting also to hear from you and your friend Ruban on this topic. I really appreciate your time and energy. Thank you. So any parting word for Michelle? Oh yeah.
No, I'm done. Thank you very much. I'm complete.
So
thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to share with you all that after this, right, I'm going to put on the link for you all to connect with Michelle. If any of you feels that you resonate with the way she speak and you like to connect with her on a more professional way to ask her for some advice or even some tips on mindfulness or human experience facilitating, just feel free to connect with her. I'm going to put on that link after this, because right now I'm using that my computer. I'm not able to close this window. Okay, so after this I will drop it inside the Coffee with Amy Kang Facebook page comments. And then if you can't find it, you can always PM me. Okay, at the same time, if you want to see the replay, you can always come to our Facebook page Coffee with Amy Kang, or you can go to my YouTube at Amy Kang to watch the replay tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Bhuvan. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Buban. Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
So,
Can leave the meeting already.
okay.
Thank
Michelle,
you.
you come here.
Yeah, yeah, I'll go there. You leave the meeting
I
first.
can't hear
Close
you.
your laptop.
Buban, bye-bye. Thank you. Michelle, sorry. Masih mau tahu.